Hello you guys, I'm back with another video. This is a long overdue. I just posted a fashion haul. I'm gonna have more videos coming for you guys. I've been like pre-recording and stuff like that, and that fashion haul was like way overdue because the clothes took forever to come, one, and I guess because it was around the holidays or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. And then on top of that, I had to record the video like 3 different times, and I was just so over it. So yeah, but I am back, and I'm definitely going to be posting another video based on the giveaway and how to enter and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're going to have to be subscribed to me and follow me on all my social networks. And of course, you're going to have to like that video and whatever the case may be. But I'll distinguish the rules once I get that video up, and once I figure out like what to give away and stuff like that. But most likely it's probably gonna be either makeup or like gift cards, something like that. Nothing like too major or whatever the case may be. But this is gonna be a story time, and I'm gonna have more videos coming for you guys and more story times definitely, because I think that I have like a couple story times I think that I want to do, but for some reason this one has been on my mind for a while. So I'm gonna get started with this video of this story time. Now this story time is gonna be about my dad. Now I'm gonna give you all the specs on my dad and stuff like that, but let me just say this: my opinion is my opinion, you know? Can't nobody take that from me. I could be wrong. Who knows, you know? But it's just my opinion on something, you know? I could totally be wrong. I'm not going to say that I really, really think that, I don't know if I should say certain things. I'm not going to say that what I'm saying is true, because I don't know if it's true or not. But it's kind of like mm, it's kind of like a coincidence that certain things happen the way they did. And to me, it's like, should I be thinking about stuff like that? I don't think I should. Hopefully, my dad is not rolling in his grave right now because I'm doing the story time. But, I'm gonna go through with this because it's been on my mind for a while, and I feel like I should speak my mind, you know? And that's the main reason why I made my YouTube, is for this reason, to speak my mind, because I can't really tell people certain things or whatever the case may be. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have friends. Let me get that. I have like 1 or 2 friends, or me and a friend talk here and there, but it's not like, and I have one best friend. But people you can't really talk to like that. They don't understand you. But like this story time is gonna be about my dad. And let me just say one thing. I don't want nobody telling me like I'm wrong, this, that, and the third, because I don't want to hear it, you know? Like, I can speak my mind if I want to. Nobody can't change that about me, you know? And I'm a very outspoken person, and when I have something that's stuck in my head, I feel like I need to say, then I'm gonna say, or I'm gonna like put it out there, you know? And I know I'm gonna get dragged for this. Like, family is gonna hate me, or they're not gonna like me. They're not gonna like the video. Somebody might ask me to delete it. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it. But this is like a theory of mine, or like a conspiracy theory. Wait, let me Google conspiracy theory so that I don't get that mixed up with a thought that's just in my head, or like, I don't know. Let me see. Okay, it says a conspiracy theory is a evaluation. Oh, is an explanation of an event or a situation that invokes an unwanted conspiracy, generally one involving an illegal or harmful act carried out by a government or other. Oh, okay. So this is not a conspiracy theory. So this is not a conspiracy theory because it's not carried out by the government, but this is like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a thought that I have. And if you guys, once I tell the story, you guys are gonna be thinking like, is that a coincidence? Like, is it a coincidence? Like, what actually really happened? Did something really happen that I don't know about, or my family doesn't know about? Who knows? But I don't think nobody will never know. You know. But I'm not gonna say that the people that I'm talking about is bad in any way, shape, or form, or anything like that. The stuff that I'm gonna say is like controversial or shady, but like, I'm here to tell it. Like, I'm here to tell it all. I'm here to tell the truth, or what I think, my opinion, and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, so let me get started. And first off, let me give you a background of my dad. Okay. So me and my dad was really, really cool. Like, when I say cool, like that, I was his baby girl, you know. And yeah, we was close. And so we did almost everything together, you know. I was like the little spoiled girl, you know, daddy's little girl, you know. I do have a sister and I do have a brother. And my sister's older than me, my brother's younger than me. And so we were close. Like, we was a close family, whatever. My dad lived with us. I had my mom and my dad. We all lived together and whatever. My dad served in Vietnam. And this was like years ago because he was like 18 and my dad would have been 60 something. I think 60 something. Yeah, 66, 67, around there. As of this year, I think he'll be 67 or 68 as of 2018. But yeah, so we was really, really cool, you know. And my dad, he lives with us or whatever. So my dad is a really good guy, you know. Like, he would do everything he can to make sure that we had a house living, we had food, you know, we had what we wanted and stuff like that. Now my dad got sick. I don't know what year he got sick in, but my dad had cancer, and I think he had multiple myeloma, if I'm not mistaken, which I believe attacks the bones. Okay, I should know this because I was in medical school, but honestly, don't quote me on that. Let me Google it. Yeah, it affects the white blood cells. Um, yeah, it affects the bone marrow, which affects the bones. Yeah, so I was right. Um, so he had cancer, and at one point he was doing bad, but then he got good. So he was good for a very long time. You know, it wasn't really bothering him. He was taking his medicine. He went through chemo and stuff like that. You know, so he was doing good. Granted, he had a heart condition or whatever, and yeah, so I was like, you know, the little doctor, but for a long time certain things wasn't bothering him, but he did take his medicine that he was supposed to take and stuff like that. Now I don't know my dad's full history or whatever. um I don't really know his full history of like his medical and stuff like that, but I know that he had a heart attack. um and I think that's what caused his heart problems. And so we're not gonna get into that because I probably get sued. But there's that. And what else? That's the only thing I can think of that was physically wrong with him, besides when he served in the army. And I believe my dad had PTSD, because it was times when we would wake him up and he would be like in shock, like he'll scream at us or whatever the case may be, but we wouldn't like wake him up. We'll like get a stick and wake him up, because like if we would come up touching him, like he would probably flip on us, and I wasn't about that life. I wasn't trying to be flying across no room, like not your girl. But my dad was a really nice guy. I think that's the only sicknesses that he really had. Besides, at one point he had like high blood pressure or whatever and stuff like that. So I was like the nurse, me being me. That's what I always wanted to do when I grew up. I always wanted to be like a doctor or help my family and stuff like that. So that's what I went to school for. So I was helping my dad with his problems around 2000 and what year was this? I knew he was sick in 2010, around there. And then we moved and moved and moved and moved, and my dad was good up until 2000 and I believe 2014, which is when my dad had decided to get his own apartment. And but my dad had his own apartment, but my dad didn't physically live in that apartment for a certain amount of time. He let somebody else rent that apartment, and he was living with us. Now, granted, around this time, I was like his home health aide, so I was giving him his medication, making sure that his blood pressure was on track, making sure he didn't get diabetes, making sure like cooking him the right stuff, and he was doing perfectly fine. He was doing good up until like I went to college upstate. So I went to college upstate, and he was, we'll call, we'll have a good conversation, this, that, and third. But I noticed he wasn't okay. Like, if you know what I mean, like, when somebody's not okay, like, physically not okay. Like, you could tell in his voice that he wasn't okay. So I would ask him if he okay, and he would be like, oh, no, no, no. And I'm like, have you taken medicine? And he'll be like, no, I don't want to take it, blah, blah, blah. So I guess my dad knew his condition, and I believe at one point my dad needed a pacemaker. But granted, him being him being an army guy, him being, having his dignity or whatever in the years he have left, I guess he didn't want to go through with that because of what he's already been through. So I guess at this point he was quite over it, which I can understand if he was in pain. And he was like, no, whatever. So I believe he asked me to come back, because he needed help. So granted, of course I'm gonna go back because that's my dad. Like, so I wanted to help him. So, and when I was upstate in college, I wasn't doing full blown classes, and this was in 2014. I wasn't doing full blown classes. I was just doing like, no, I wasn't doing my major. Now, the college that I got into was Monroe Community College in Rochester. That's the college that I got into. Well, that's the college that I accepted. I got accepted to different colleges, but that's the college that I chose to go to. So yeah, that was that. So I went to college, whatever. I was taking liberal arts, so I wasn't in my major yet, just because I didn't have chemistry, and I don't think I had chemistry in my school, but that's besides the story time. But so I came back, whatever, to New York, and I came to Monroe College in New Rochelle, and so I was going to college out here. Granted, going to my dad's house, giving him his medicine. And so now this is where the story gets funny. Giving him his medicine, all of this good stuff. Boom. My dad was fine. My dad was good. I would go, and there was times where my dad wasn't really, really feeling well, so I would take him to the doctor or whatever the case may be. Or I would call the ambulance, be like, Dad, call the ambulance, you're not feeling well, this is not good, like, we need you to get better, And I think the only reason why he wasn't feeling good was because he wasn't taking his medicine, which granted, that happens, especially because he was sick, and he obviously needed his medicine to maintain a healthy lifestyle. But him not getting that the pacemaker obviously put a strain on his heart, and it obviously, was going to be a big part of his life if he didn't, decide to get it. Which we didn't think it was like a life or death thing, and obviously it was his decision. Now, there's that. So he's been to the hospital a couple of times, whatever. Now, let me just. So every month on the 1st and the 3rd, my dad got paid. And my dad is retired at this point. So my dad got paid on the 1st and he got paid on the 3rd. And I obviously knew that because I was basically his caretaker, and I'm his daughter, and I'm sure all my sister and my brother knew that as well, and my mom knew that as well. So those are the days that he got paid. And so my dad obviously got a pension, and so those are the days that he would call me, like, this was like our scheduled days for me to come with him, like, oh, come with me to go pay my bills, to run my errands, stuff like that. So I would go with him to go pay his bills, run his errands, and stuff like that. Go grocery shopping and stuff like that. So I will go either the 1st or I will go the 3rd, or I'll go the 1st and then I will go the 3rd to help him. Like we would go outside on the 1st and we'll do a little bit, because at this point my dad needed a walker or a cane. So at this point he needed a walker or a cane, and he was getting around pretty good. I would say he was getting around pretty good until like one day my dad scared the shit out of me. And let me tell you this story. My dad scared the shit out of me. So I went to my dad's house after school or whatever, and I'm knocking on his door. Now at this point, New Rochelle and the Bronx campus was connected. So there was 2 colleges, but they was connected, and it was always like a shuttle bus that would take you from one part to another part of the campuses. So it would take you from New Rochelle to the Bronx, and I don't know how far that is, like 10-20 minutes. It wasn't that far. Now granted, I had some classes in the Bronx, so I would go to the Bronx and then I would go straight to my dad's house, because my dad's house from where my school was, it wasn't far from his house. How would I get to my dad's house? I would take a bus to his house, and the buses that was over there where my school was wasn't far from his house. It was like 5-6 stops, 4 or 5 stops from his house. So granted it wasn't far, so I didn't mind going over there every day, and that's what basically really happened. I was almost over there every day making sure he was okay. Now I went to his house this day, random day after school, go to his house, knock, knocked on his door, and he wasn't answering, right? Calling him, nobody's answering. Call my mom, telling her nobody's answering. I'm calling everybody, like, what the heck? Can somebody call him? Can somebody see if he's okay? Because I didn't have the key to his house. And that made me realize, oh shit, I need the key to his house now, because that scared the shit out of me. Being that he's sick and stuff like that, I need the keys to his house, Now, I was banging on the door, and then his neighbor had came out. His house is like, his door's right here, and he had a neighbor right here. So the neighbor came out, and she was like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know if my dad's in there. I don't know if he's passed out or what's wrong, but he's not answering his phone. He's not answering the door. And granted, I spoke to him like either that morning or I spoke to him the day before, and I told him I was coming. So I spoke to him recently. So it wasn't that far that I spoke to him. So I'm banging on his door, and nobody answered. And she's like, oh, go find the landlord. So granted, I'm out. I went all the way to the basement, banged on the door. That they was like, he's not here. And I'm like, do you know where he's at? Can you help me? Like, I need the key to such and such apartment. Banged on, went to go find the manager, boom, boom, banged on the door, and then eventually the landlord, mad late, like, came to open the door, like, to open the door. So he opens the door, right? And he's like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know if my dad is in here. I don't know if he's okay, but I just spoke to him. And like my dad, he's a deep sleeper, but he don't sleep. I don't know. Granted, he probably would sleep that long, but my dad was literally a deep sleeper. So I don't know if he was sleeping or whatever the case may be, but I'm sure he would have heard all of us banging on his door, you know? All of us calling him, you know? And so I get the man, he broke the lock, obviously. So he broke the lock, and then I went in, and my dad wasn't even there. Now, mind you, I'm supposed to be going everywhere with him. So where is he going? Where is he going? So he was like, I'm going to give you a key. I'm going to give you 2 keys. And I'm also giving you a key to his mailbox just so you can make sure he's okay, whatever. So at this point, the man had changed the whole locks on the door. And I felt so bad because, like, I know that costs money. So he had to go downstairs and change all the locks on the door. Granted, I'm still trying to figure out where my dad is. Like, where are you? Why aren't you home? Why? Where could you be? Like, let me be serious. Where could you be? Like, come on. What fell? I don't like that, but so he come like I hear him. So like 10-20 minutes later, my dad, I hear somebody by the door. So he got his key in and he's trying to twist his key, but obviously the man just changed the lock, so he don't got the keys to the house right now. So I open the door. He was like, how the hell you in my house? I'm like, why are you not in your house? Like, I'm like, where you been at? He was like, I went grocery shopping. I went to the store. I was like, oh my gosh. So he came upstairs. I was like, give me them bags. Like, I was like, you obviously feel good enough that you going to the grocery store without your phone. Like, what are you doing? I bought you the phone so you can use it. Like, what are you doing? Come on, man. You can't do stuff like that. He was like, I didn't realize I didn't have it. Or I think he had it, but it was in his pocket and he didn't hear it. Or something like that. Or he heard it, but he had the bags in his hand, so he didn't want to put the bags down to answer the phone. It was something around that, but I was so pissed. I was like, they changed your locks, and I got a key now. So, and he was just like, he was laughing like, He was like, so they broke my door? I was like, yeah, they broke your door. Like, here's your keys. So I gave him his keys and stuff like that. And he was like, I can't believe you did that. I was like, I thought something was wrong with you. I thought you was like passed out or something. So granted, he was fine and we was laughing and stuff like that. So he calling everybody, telling everybody I broke his door down. And granted, I didn't break his door down. I just wanted to make sure my dad was okay. Like, anybody would do that if they loved their parents. Like, come on. So after that situation, like, I was cautious, you know? But he was obviously well enough to do stuff on his own, you know? So, like, a couple of months passed. Is it months, weeks? I don't know. A couple of months passed, and my dad, at one point, he wasn't feeling good, you know? And at this point, we're trying to figure out some stuff to do. Like, we're trying to figure out some doctors that could help his heart condition, whether to where he don't have to get surgery. So I was emailing people. I actually sent a letter to Congress and everything, like trying to figure out like I don't know what I was trying to figure out, but trying to figure out something, like, you know, about I believe his something in the army or some shit like that. I don't remember what I wrote to Congress, but I wrote something to the Congress. Searching up doctors, and then at one point a doctor called me. A doctor called me and told me like a doctor called me and told me that they wanted to see him and it was about his heart condition. So we was emailing people, talking to people, calling people about his heart condition. So it was some lady out there that had wrote me saying that at this date we want you to come in for like an appointment, like a post-op appointment to see what was wrong, stuff like that, and get some x-rays to see what was wrong with you and stuff like that. So we did that. Now, granted, my dad was a veteran, but for some reason, he didn't get the benefits that he should have had, which really pissed me off. That's why I wrote Congress, because him being a veteran and not getting the benefits he was supposed to get really pissed me off, because Granted, he's sick, and most likely his wounds and stuff like that are from the war and stuff like that. So, granted, he should have got at least the medical care that he deserved or that he needed. So I believe that's why I wrote Congress or whatever the case may be, trying to see if my dad could get like certain benefits or something like that for his medical condition or something like that. But she had wrote me asking me, telling me she wanted to see him, whatever. So I told him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, this is good. This is good." Like, we were just talking about him, like, being on a path to something better. Hopefully, she got something good. Hopefully, she could help this, that, and the third. So we set an appointment for him. All good. So we was good after that. We set an appointment for him. Like, all right, and now this week of the 3rd, I believe that's the same week he was supposed to go to the doctor to see this lady. The week of the 3rd of December. Now, granted, I was in school this day, and it was finals week, which pissed me off because, like, I really couldn't see him like that. But I called my dad the night before I had finals, and this was my medical terminology final, and I remember that very vividly because I had to take that class twice. We're not gonna talk about that. I had called him the night before, and he was fine. Like, granted, he was fine. Now, I called him after my final because he told me, "You coming over tomorrow to help me go grocery shopping and go pay my bills and stuff." So I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Now, granted, this day I was supposed to do this girl's hair at my school. She wanted me to do some crochet on her hair. So I called or whatever. I called my dad, and now listen to this. I want you to listen to this. Now, granted, he's not answering. He's not answering. He's not answering. He's not answering. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? I called his other phone. My dad has 2 phones. He had like one of those Obama phones, one of those track phones or whatever you want to call it, and then he had the phone that I brought him. And so I'm calling, not answering. I called, and granted, his sister picks up, right? And I'm like, "Where's my dad? Like, is he okay?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't, he's like a little like out of it," and stuff like that. So my thing is, wait, you didn't tell me your sister was coming, 1. And 2, if he's not 100% responsive, or if he was like groggy or whatever of some sort, why didn't you call the ambulance? Like, that was just my thought, But who am I to say anything, right? So I'm like, "Oh, call the ambulance, Like, that's the first thing that came to my head. So granted, she calls the ambulance, and I go over there, whatever the case may be. Now, I guess he's gonna be fine. I guess she was like, "Oh, everything's okay, blah blah blah." So I don't know if she said that or whatever the case may be, but I don't remember what she said. But all I know is that I went over there, and I thought he was gonna be okay, because usually my dad would go to the hospital, and there'll be something like something not like, he was like he had water in his stomach or whatever, and they would like give him some fluids, and he would be fine. But I did the girl hair, whatever, boom. I'm at my dad's house. I did her hair at my dad's house, whatever. So I didn't go to the hospital to see if my dad was okay, because I was with his sister at the house. Now, I was with his sister at the house for a reason, Now, this is going to cause so much drama, I believe. Like, now, I did the girl hair, she left, and like, we keep getting calls, "Oh, Mr. Tucker is okay." We call everybody, like, "Oh, he's in the hospital, blah blah blah." Now, we got a call saying that he was getting worse. Now, that is when, like, I was done with the girl hair, and I'm like, "He's getting worse," and they was like, "Yeah," and they called my mom asking if they could intubate him, which then I knew that wasn't good, Now, I don't know what's going through your mind right now, and that the only thing that's going through my mind is that I have to go to the hospital to see my dad. So, I don't know if his sister left before me, or I left before her to go see him, but I don't remember. But I believe she left before me. I'm not sure. But I didn't see her at the, I don't believe I seen her at the hospital. So I guess my sister and stuff them was there. But when I got there, nobody was in the room with him. Now, when I got there, he was no longer alive. Now, that was crazy because I just spoke to him yesterday. Like, and of course I was crying or whatever the case may be and stuff like that. But that's crazy because I just talked to him yesterday. But granted, he looked at peaceful. He didn't look like he was gone. He looked at like he was sleeping. Like, that's what shook me the most. Like you're joking, like you're alive. Like this is a joke. Like, and I wasn't really thinking about it. You know, I wasn't really thinking about anything crazy. You know. And then like, where did we go after? I don't remember anything. So I know we called family and stuff like that. I don't know if I came home or whatever the case may be. Did I come home? I'm trying to figure out, like, did we go home? I'm trying to figure out. I don't remember. I know I was crying, and I called one of my friends at that time, and I was just bawling my eyes out to her. But where did I go? I don't know. I guess I walked out. I left. Then my sister and them called me and saying, "Oh, where are you?" And I was like, they said they was there, but I didn't see them. I don't know why I didn't see them. But they was there, I believe. I don't know if I didn't see them. They wasn't in the room. I guess they was talking to his doctors or whatever the case may be. And I believe they said it was his heart, you know? Granted, which is what the next day we were supposed to be going to the hospital for. Now, that's so crazy. Like, the next day we were supposed to go to the hospital for his heart. Like, you know? But what happened after? Like, I'm trying to figure out, did we go back to my dad's house? Did we go to my house? Did we go to my house and then go back to my dad's house? Because granted, I had my dad's key. You know, so I could go back to his house. But I didn't know if his sister had his key or not. But I believe she did. And I'm not going to say any names in this video just because, like, I feel like my dad has a lot of sisters and stuff like that. And he has a lot of family. He has a big family. So I don't mean to make anybody upset, but this is just crazy, you know? And so this happened in 2015. So he died December 3rd, 2015. The same day he gets paid from his pension, whatever. So what happens next? One of us goes, so I wasn't thinking of anything, and then my mom was like, "Oh, like you went there to go with him shopping. Like, do you have all his like like get his jacket or whatever? Like, or we was all asking, did you take his stuff home?" So my mom took his stuff home, but granted, his wallet. So his wallet wasn't in his pocket. His phone wasn't in his pocket. Nothing. He didn't have nothing. So I'm like, he didn't have nothing. Like, so that means he really was out of it because he didn't have anything. My dad usually takes all his identification. Like, how you not have identification with you, you know? So I go to my dad's house, I believe, to find his stuff. And his card is missing. His card that he gets paid with is missing. Okay? So, and my dad also had got food stamps too. So his food stamp card was missing too, and his card that he got his pension on was missing. Like, so my only thought was where's my dad's card, you know? And so apparently his sister has his card, and so she calls me asking me, do you know your dad's PIN number to his card? And so I go, no, because why do you need my dad's PIN number to his card? And I don't quite this is so dumb. Why did that just blew minds? Trump healthcare, like, bye. But anyways, why did she need his PIN number? I'm trying to figure out why she needed his PIN number and why she had this card in the first place. I'm like, no, but I need my dad's card. Like, I want my dad's card, because I was so confused as to why she had his card. Like, granted, I believe she said she had it because she was supposed to go to the store for him. That's what I believe she said. Now, something else was going through my mind. Like, oh, but my thought is she can't, like, my thought was, alright, she can't use it anyways, you know? She can't use the card anyways. But granted, if you call the card, no, let me, my thought was, she can't use it. So I'm like, alright, she can't use it because she don't got the PIN number, you know? But, so, like, a couple of days later, I get his card back, you know? So at this point, I think we're at his house. It's me, because I guess at this point, a childhood friend of mine, my sister, my brother, my mom, her, was it his family? I think it was us, and we was going through his mail and stuff like that, and cleaning out his house and stuff like that, because originally, my name was supposed to go on the lease, but my dad, we wasn't able to. At one point, we wasn't able to, like, get it fast enough to where my name was on the lease, because then I was supposed to take over his apartment, you know? But granted, I think my dad, I think she wanted her name to be in the lease. I'm not sure about what happened. I believe she wanted to live, like, in the Bronx or whatever the case may be, but I believe she lived in, like, I don't know where she lived, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie, but I thought she lived in Jersey, but I don't know. But granted, like, I guess my name was supposed to be in the lease, and he said okay, and I guess her name was supposed to be in the lease, I guess. Now, at this point, it was two other people at the house at this point. Two people at the house at this point. It was, I don't know if his brother was there. Now, granted, I love his brother. I love my uncle, you know? And, you know, he was one of the close ones that we was really, really close with. So, I don't want him to feel no type of way or anything like that, or anybody to feel no type of way, but this is just my thought process. Like, why is she taking stuff that don't belong to her? Like, granted, I know that's your sister or whatever, but, like, which is supposed to be my aunt, but why is she taking something from your family, you know? And so we went to the house or whatever the case may be, and she gives me the card or whatever the case may be. Now, she gave me both of his cards or whatever the case may be. Now, granted, we was there, we was having a good time, stuff like that. We was with two of my cousins, I believe. I believe they're cousins. And we was just talking, like, having a good time, whatever the case may be. Getting to know our two cousins or whatever, and they're oldie nice, like, oldie cool, like, stuff like that. So, we were all cool, whatever. So, I get the card, I go home, and obviously I know the PIN number and stuff like that. So, I call it, right? And I put the PIN number in, whatever. And it says the PIN number is wrong. Now at this point, I'm pissed because if she didn't know the pin number, like if she knew the pin number, why ask me? You know, like what's the point of asking me what his pin number is in the first place? You know. And at this point, I'm pissed because like, how did you get his pin number? Why do you have his pin number? Like, if anything, you know. Um, like this is crazy. There's no way, shape, or form why you should have his pin number, or whatever the case may be. And so, granted, no, I don't know what happened. No, she changed. So she changed his pin number. Now on the website of the card company that he had, you can change the pin number if you have the other person's social. Granted, why does she have his social? I get your family, but honestly, they were close, but they didn't really see each other like that. Like, you know, even though she would come to his house, and it was at one point in time like she was staying with him or whatever. Like they wasn't that close. They was close, but they wasn't that close, you know. And to me, that pissed me off because it's like, so granted, I changed it and I checked the balance and all his money is gone. That really pissed me off because at the end of the day, like, at the end of the day, like, that's fucked up. Because if anything, the next of kin is not her. For one, it's not her. It's me, it's my sister, it's my mom, my sister, me, and then my brother. Boom. But the next of kin on my dad was my sister. So she had to do all the paperwork, everything like that. So the next of kin was my sister. You know? Was the oldest daughter. And if anything, that card would have went to her. Not her. Not his sister. Like, who has the audacity to steal from your own family? And then I believe we asked her, like, where's the money? Like, and I don't remember what she said. Oh, I'm using it to buy his tux. That's what she said. I believe that's what she said. Or I'm going to use it for his funeral. I believe that's what she said. Now, I don't care. Now, mind you, when we was going to, when we was going to change the password, it was a password there of it was the email of, one of the cousins there. And so I was pissed. Like, obviously you changed it because we wouldn't change it to that. You know, we wouldn't change it to that. So my head is like, did she really use it for his stuff? Like, granted, we was obviously gonna use it, you know, for his funeral arrangements. But still, like it just shows you what type of individual you are to do something like that to somebody, you know? And the main thing I believe that she kept talking about is like, oh, are you guys gonna get any money? Are you guys gonna get any money? Like, why are you worried about what type of money we're getting, you know? Like, my dad just died, your brother just died. Like, I was so pissed, like, beyond pissed. Like, and at the time, you couldn't be more pissed because, or more sad because, like, it's the time, like, somebody, a loved one passed away, you know? Now, granted, I wanted to curse her out. But, you know, my mom, she wouldn't let me do that. And that just had me thinking, like, I hate to say it, but it had me thinking, like, what went wrong in that house, you know? What went wrong? Granted, I don't think she would do anything to hurt her brother, but if you're money hungry, then like if you needed the money, like ask, like like. And granted, I don't know if it went to the suit or not. Like I didn't see no receipt, no nothing. Like I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went. Now, what was the other part? That was the other part. I think that was the last part of it. Granted, I don't know where the money went. And so that's really upsetting. Like I don't know, you guys. You tell me what you think, and if it don't seem like awkward that somebody would do something like that. Like, why would you do something like that? Like, if you're that money hungry, like, there's so many other things out there you could do. Like, but to steal from your brothers, from your brother, to steal it. Like, granted that it doesn't belong to you. Granted that next of kin, it wasn't going to you. Like, I get it, y'all was close, but that's some trifling ass shit, And it was two of them involved. Two of them involved with that. And I'm not gonna say any names or whatever the case may be, but you don't do shit like that. Like, you don't do shit like that. Like, if, let's see, but let me say this. God don't like ugly, So, you get what you deserve, And I believe in karma. 100%, I believe in karma. So, I believe that, you get what you deserve in return of what you do to people, And I believe that karma's gonna come out to get her. And granted, like, obviously we didn't care about the whole the whole money situation. It was just like, why steal it? Why steal it? Like, why? Like, I'm still trying to figure out why take it. Like, what was the point of you taking it? And I guess she took it to wherever she took it to, part of their family or whatever. I don't know what happened. Granted, I do know how much was on there, obviously. And I'm just upset. Like, who does some shady ass fucked up shit like that? Like I was just so upset. Like, you gotta be one trifling as individual, a fucked up as individual to do some shit like that. And that's just that. And whoever helped her or whatever, whoever helped her put the pieces together, whoever helped her figure out the code, whoever, like, karma's a bitch. And you're gonna get yours, and stealing from people is not, like, the way to go, especially from somebody who's dead. Like, come on. I swear I knew even before my dad was was rolling in his grave because of some shit like that. I don't care if you family, you don't do shit like that. You just don't do shit like that. Like, granted, I barely see them now. The funeral was nice or whatever. If she did put the money towards the suit, it was a nice suit. Granted, I could have found something better. But with what he had on the card, I don't know what she said what he had on the card, but I know what she said he had on the card probably wasn't what he had on the card, Because my dad had bills to pay. So maybe, so we was in that house for a while before they turned off his cable and stuff like that. But granted, we had to get his stuff out his house, So she was there helping and stuff like that. And I told, like, my aunt from my mom's side, when we saw her, we told her, like, we was like, oh, that's her. Like, we told her what happened, whatever. Because I guess we're more close to my mom's side than we were to my dad's side besides his brother. But, like, we would, like, see them here and there. but we wasn't really that close. I think that those years, that year of 2014, like before I went off to college, we was getting closer with them because I remember his brother had came over and stuff like that, and like the two cousins, I believe they're cousins, I'm not sure, had came over. I believe they're our cousins, but I'm not sure. They came over and stuff like that. They ate with us and stuff like that. We did like a barbecue and stuff like that. So granted, we was getting close to them, but after what that individual did, after what his sister did, and I know somebody else helped her. I know who helped her, obviously, but granted, they helped her. Like, I honestly don't want nothing to do with you. Like, I'ma just say it like that. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you, and you're a cruel individual. Like, you're really, really cruel. Like, come on. Like, you have to be really hurt, really fucked up. Like, you have to be really, something is wrong with you. Like, my sister's calling me. Hold on. Hey.
Hi, you forgot about me.
No, I'm doing the story time.
Okay.
You just woke up?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you doing the story time?
Now.
Oh, okay.
Love you.
You still gonna do my hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to think. I don't know, like, what else to say. And I just find it messed up that an individual could do something like that. Like, you have to be conniving. You have to be, like, it's not even about being money hungry. It's about the fact that you decided, like, it had to be a thought process behind this. Like, what is no way, shape, or form a thought process didn't go through her head when she was doing this, because as soon as he was, from the moment she was at his house up until he was gone, and after that she had the card. So you had to be plotting on what to do. Granted, I don't know what happened before that. I don't know if she was going to go to the store for him. I don't know if he told the pastor, because if she was going to the store for him, obviously he told her the code, you know. Granted, if he wasn't lucid and coherent, then how was he telling her anything? But my point, like, I don't know, you guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. If I'm wrong for saying that something might have happened or whatever the case may be. If you think that this is a fucked up situation, like, cause I get it. This family is still from family all the time, but from somebody who's dead. Like, granted, I get it. You was going to the store for him or whatever the case be. Granted, I get it. You had it. You was helping him out, which 100% understand. You know, I understand you was helping him out, whatever. But when it belongs to somebody else, your thought process shouldn't be to take it. Like, it don't belong to you. I don't know. This is what bothers me. I don't know why she felt she was entitled to it. Why do you feel like you're entitled to somebody else's money? I get it, he's your brother, but you're not entitled to anything. Like, who gave you the right to say, this is mine, that's my brother, oh, I deserve to have it because I did this, and that? No, if anything, his family deserves it. Because granted, when I was taking care of him, where were you? Like, I believe at one point she was taking care of him, but granted, I was helping my dad out. Like, through the last bits of his life, I was always over there. When he told me to come back from upstate, I came back from upstate. So, granted, I don't understand what was going through your head when you thought to take it. Like, being that after he was gone, like, you still decided to take it. And then on top of that, you decided to plot, and then the person who helped you plot it had to be just as conniving and cruel and so undermining and disgusting just as you are. Like, come on, like, it pisses me off that there are that type of people in this world. And somebody's gonna probably be like, oh, who this, who that, because I know I have family on all my social medias and stuff like that, but it shouldn't have happened like that. Like, it should not have happened like that. Like, granted, we was really trying to get my dad and his casket as fast as possible, but to take something and to do all of this stuff, and I get they helped, and they helped with the whole, what do you call it, reception, I guess, after, I don't know what it's called, the whole dinner and stuff like that. They cooked them, whatever the case may be. Granted, it's because they had both of his cards. So I don't know if we had his card, or if they had his card, or we took both of his card. I know we took. I don't know if we took his food stand card back, but or if they used it, or if we used it and we bought some stuff. Cause I remember we went to the grocery store and we were buying stuff too. But and then they cooked and stuff like that. Like, I get it, and I know his family loves him deeply, but I don't know if anybody knows about this situation, like his family or whatever. But if you don't know, y'all got some trifling ass people in y'all family. Like, I know it's my family too, but trifling, like, that's trifling. Like, I don't care. Like, that deserves to be said, and people deserve to know. Like, and you deserve to know what people in your family is like. And that's just that. And moral of the story is, family is just as grimy as random people. Like, don't trust nobody. You can't trust people in this world, especially if you can steal from somebody who's gone. Like, if you can do that, then you're a shitty individual. And and the fact that she's a child of God really, like, pisses me off, because if you're a child of God, the "thou shall not steal" should be one. Like, you stole it. Like, and granted, you gave me the card knowing it was nothing on the card. You called asking for the number, plotting on what's to come. Like, how you plotting on somebody else's money? Like, and again, it wasn't even about the money. It was about the simple fact that you're worried about what he has and his money versus him passing away, and the sentimental behind what we could put behind him going away, and the things that we could put together to give him his last words and stuff like that. Granted, like, come on, like, I feel like his funeral should have went, like, it was nice, but it could have been better. Granted, my dad is a veteran, so he was buried in, I believe, Long Island, which was a long drive, but it was well worth it. And the ceremony they gave was so sad and sentimental, and he deserved that going out. But granted, I feel like he shouldn't have. They shouldn't have did that. Like, they really shouldn't have did that. And I just wanted to speak on that. And if I have a picture, actually, I'm gonna find a picture of my dad. My dad was so happy. He was so kind hearted, and he gave until he couldn't give no more. Like, and that hurts, because for him to be so giving, and for him to be so loving and caring, and people could just sit there and steal from him, that's fucked up. Like, you can't take that back. Like, you cannot take that back as an individual. I'm gonna show you a picture. His picture is over there. And granted, they did everything for his funeral for the most part, and I guess they asked for pictures and stuff like that. So they did most of it. Granted, they should. Like, she should, given the fact that she stole his shit. Like, hold on. It says, "In loving memory of David Randolph Tucker." And then it has it faded. A poem that I believe my mom wrote this poem. On the back, there's a poem, an acknowledgement and stuff like that. I obviously still have this, and I believe I had something else. It was like a card that came with this, with like pictures of us and stuff like that on it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Like this is not ever going anywhere. And my dad was, my dad was born in 49. And that's crazy. And my dad died in 2015. Like, crazy. And granted, like, I still love his family. Like regardless, I'm still gonna love his family. Like his I believe one of his sisters passed away. Like right after him, and it was crazy because we just saw her in the hospital, and she was in the hospital with my mom, and I went to her funeral, and I love them. Like of course I'm always gonna love them, but the people the his sister who did it, like I have no respect for you. Like no respect for you at all whatsoever. And can nobody change that? My mom tells me, "Oh, leave it alone, leave it alone," and I get it. You have to forgive in order to forget. But granted, like probably after this video, I'll probably get closure because I'm actually talking about it, and I'll probably forget about it, you know, and I'll probably forgive. But I'm not at that point in my life where I'm able to forgive somebody like that. And I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'll probably see if I have another picture of my dad to show you guys. My dad was happy, like this is him and my brother. Oh, my dad was a good ass cook. Let me tell you that. This was like a Thanksgiving that we had. Um, I remember like at one point my dad had hair. My dad had long hair, and he made me cut it, and I was upset, but he made me cut it because I would always braid his hair, but I guess he got tired of it. And there was one summer he was like, it gotta go, and so I cut it for him. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Stay tuned for the giveaway again, and again, tell me if you want to see any more story times with me. Write it in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, subscribe. Go watch my other videos and woo, share this. Share. I'm trying to get out there more, and tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Am I wrong? You know, what do you think? What are your theories on it? What are your thoughts on it? You know? And until next time, bye.